So, a man's going viral on Twitter because he is talking about why he divorced his wife. She was withholding intimacy from him, and they only had been intimate together twice in 2 years. So, let's dig into it. I will never again negotiate intimacy in a marriage. It's why I got divorced. Men are miserable because you are withholding intimacy for him until he does what he's told. That is a private hell. If that is done to me, you're out, sweetheart. Too many women out there who give intimacy without conditions.
Guys, that this whole issue of women withholding sex in marriage is actually more common than people admit. And if I want to be very honest, it is actually one of the fastest way to scatter a home, to scatter a marriage. Because whether we like it or not, is not just an extra thing. It's not just like biscuit that you can eat whenever you're in the mood or something. Like, people don't realize that this thing is part of the foundation of a marriage. It is important. It is as important as loving your partner in a marriage.
Too many women out there who give intimacy without conditions. He then asks, will you take care of the kids, the house, the dishes? I do that shit already and don't get laid for doing it. Your intimacy being held at the end of a fishing pole for compliance is only going to make you suffer. So a woman responds saying, your wife may have used it against you abusively, but I can assure you that most women are not withholding for that reason. They have many, many reasons why they want it less. So then Tim responds saying, then talk to him. If it's his attractiveness, get to the gym. If it's an issue with your body, mood, stress, etc., talk and work together instead of quietly suffering. There are ways to get better for both sides. I completely agree. So he then states, and I understand about postpartum things as well. Talk, work on a plan, and work together. You don't want to feel bad, nor does your husband want you to. The attitude of intimacy as currency in my marriage came 4 years after kids. There are many, many marriages where this is happening, several in which my friends are in. So then someone asks, we all agree the best way to punish a man is to intimacy starve him, right? So this brings me to my next point. There was a man that went viral a few years ago because he had made a spreadsheet over the course of about a month and a half to keep track of all the reasons why his wife would tell him no when it came to being intimate together. So let's dig into it a little bit. So some of her reasons were, I'm watching the show, in parentheses, Friends rerun. I feel sweaty and gross. I need a shower. Parentheses, didn't shower until next morning. Another one, or a few times this happened, was it was just a non-verbal no. There were other times where she just said, I'm exhausted, or I'm trying to watch the movie, fell asleep 15 minutes later. I'm too drunk and I ate too much. I won't have time to get showered and ready for dinner. In parentheses, we were 20 minutes early. I just came back from the gym. I feel gross. Didn't shower until the next morning. I have to be up early. I feel gross. I'm not feeling good. I ate too much. I'm sweaty and gross and I'm tired. A few more nonverbals. I might be getting sick. I still don't feel 100%. I need a shower. I feel gross. I'm too tired. No. Another nonverbal, and I'm watching my show. I don't want to miss anything. I'm just going to say this, and it's probably not a popular opinion amongst women, but if you're rather selfish and you're not selfless, just stay single. Withholding intimacy from your husband, honestly, is just not healthy. Or is it that work husband of yours that got your mind a little distracted? We always hear the extremes of, oh, what if she's tired? What if she doesn't feel good? What if she's depressed? What if she just had a baby? We always go to those extremes, but a lot of the times it's women just simply saying no because they tend to weaponize the intimacy with their partner as a sense of control. That to me is absolutely toxic, and I don't like that word, but I'm going to use it because in this instance, it's actually something that qualifies for being toxic. But I want to give you guys a few statistics on marriages that lack intimacy. And I apologize, I have to keep using that word because I just don't want this video getting taken down. So, as many as 1 in 7 married adults in the U.S. are in relationships with little to no intimacy. 7% of married adults haven't had intimacy in the past year. 4% haven't had intimacy in the past 5 years. And 15% of married people are in relationships that only engage in intimacy on an infrequent basis. And that's from a recent Psychology Today survey back from I think October 2023. It's not cool to weaponize intimacy. Got to communicate what your needs are. You got to communicate if you're feeling down. And And the guy from Twitter said it well. If it's something that you lost attraction to your partner, speak up.
When a woman starts using sex as punishment in her marriage against her husband, for things like, oh, I asked you to get me an earring, you didn't buy for me, so nothing for you. Oh, I asked you to buy shawarma for me, so nothing for you. Oh, you did not want to do this. Little things for no reason. Trust me, it always backfires. Men are not robots. They can forgive a lot of things, but you see sexual starvation, I don't think so. It can turn the most faithful man into someone that will start thinking about escape routes. But here's a contrast to this whole situation. Sometimes some women are not just declining it because they want to punish the guy or they want to starve the guy. Sometimes there are actual reasons, there are real reasons a woman will tell you no. Pregnancy and childbirth can mess up with your hormones, it can mess up with your mood, it can mess up with how you feel about yourself, your confidence. There are things like stress, depression, there are even medical conditions, endometriosis or something like that, low libido and all of that. These are things that can make women not to be in the mood. Sometimes it's not, oh, I don't want you, it is actually my body will not cooperate. So I feel like the real problem here is silence. That's for women that genuinely don't want to. Instead of saying things like, oh babe, I'm not in the mood because I'm stressed, or this thing is painful, or oh, I don't like the way you do it, can you do better, or oh, I just came back from work. Instead of communicating your feelings, you just shut down and expect the man to read your mind. And then the husband starts feeling rejected, unwanted, unloved, and then bitterness starts building. And bitterness in a marriage is like termite, very small but destructive. If you truly don't want to lose your marriage, withholding intimacy should not be an option. Instead, what you can do is to talk, find a middle ground, negotiate. If you are genuinely tired, you can suggest another time. If you want foreplay or whatever it is they call it, you guys just communicate. If you are stressed, you also communicate to him that you are stressed. If maybe it's painful or whatever, you can see a doctor, but just let this person know that this is the reason this is happening, and don't weaponize it. Don't use it as a form of punishment for silly things like, oh, I wanted this, you didn't get it for me, or I want money, please give me money, and the guy doesn't want to give you money and you say no. This, really, let's be very honest here. Genital meet and greet, like some people I know will call it, is not just about physical release. It's about intimacy, it's also about bonding. And if you cut that part off, trust me, you're cutting out the part that keeps your marriage alive. Marriage is not supposed to be about punishment. If you're hurt, talk about it. If you're angry, talk about it. Don't use intimacy as a weapon, because when you now finally look up, the man that you are punishing has already packed his bags emotionally and left the house, and it's just his physical person that is there with you, and one day he can just decide that he's no longer interested in the marriage. So the moral of today's video is that intimacy, sex is not a prize for good behavior. It's part of the package. If there's a problem, you guys should solve it together. But starving your partner is the beginning of an end, guys. What do you think about this video? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think that it's okay to weaponize it? Do you think that it is okay to do whatever you want to do, or is something that is important, and if there are issues, you have to solve the issues and leave that out of it, so it's as a form of punishment? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. My name is Benita. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, I'd love in the world. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.